the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen, but it does happen.
And no nation which expects to be the leader of other nations can expect to stay behind in this race for space.
What does it take to convince you that the dead do not always rest in peace?
This episode has been brought to you by Brott's Beard Care, premium beard oil made right here in Central Florida by Kelly Brott. Go to brottsbeardcare.com, enter promo code 3beards with a capital B, and you're going to save 20% off your order. At this time, we would like to welcome back Mr. Max Hawthorne, writer of the Chronos book series, killer of everyone's favorite character with wanton disregard. Just, do you guys like this guy? Yes, I do. Dead. Gone. Do you like the badass hunter that takes out everything he sees? Yeah, he's not going to make it. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Dude, that was... I haven't read Kraken yet, and I'm really upset with myself, especially that we're interviewing you. But, man, Chronos Rising, amazing. The ending, huge twist. I was like, oh, God, that was great. Like, I was not expecting that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I almost ended up as a gift because I almost got the coffee to come out of my nose right there when you had me laughing. I was like...
Yeah. Oh man, it was one of those things. As I finished the book, I was like, yeah, I see what everybody always says there. It's like, do you want to fall in love with the character? Max will kill it, guaranteed. He'll make you fall in love.
Which book was this we're talking about? Was it the first one, second, like one of the Kraken ones?
Well, me and Austin have read the first one. And it's
Chronos Rising.
Chronos Rising, and. It just then, as I'm just seeing, when we started with you and we were watching all the stuff, we saw all the people, just it was like a viral thing. Everybody, that's all the people talk, is a whole post in regards to, are you, what do you think when Max kills off your favorite character? It's like, yeah, there's all these memes, in regards to just,
certain characters. There are certain characters that you want killed off, and it takes forever to fucking kill them. But it happens in the end.
Well, you have to, build up the desire. But I will say this though, I had like in one of the books which you guys haven't read yet, and let me know because I can hook you guys up with a Kindle. But one of the primary characters in a few books down the road that everybody liked, he was my favorite character, buys the farm. Okay, and it was a lot of upset people. I mean, I got comments, messages, emails, some sort of box that was ticking that I gave to my next door neighbor. I mean, but the thing that really touched me was at one point people were talking about it on one of the groups. I think maybe my Marine Mysteries group or something. And these two guys were talking, and one goes, his death really hit me hard. He goes, I was actually in tears about it. And then another guy chimes in and said, yeah, me too. He goes, I was so upset that I literally had tears in my eyes and I threw the book across the room. And I was so angry and upset, I could not pick it up for 3 months.
Wow.
Okay. So when you have grown men saying they're crying over, your work, and it's not because you're a lot of typos that they're crying, like, oh, typo. So, no, editor, then, you must be doing something right. So,
well, yeah, isn't that the literary version of punching the TV? No, just chuck the book across the room.
Yep, it was tough though. Just tough decision to make. But I mean, it was necessary.
Well, you kind of have to, because it's like one of those things. It's just if you it stinks, especially if you get into anything. I mean, in any series, if you always keep a thing and you don't have that kind of trauma when it comes to writing, then things start to get old. People get, it's almost like, lack of better terms, it's almost a complacency that just happens.
And you lose your audience after a while.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that thankfully hasn't happened to me. So
No, it's one of those things. I mean, I can tell you just right from just reading myself. It's like I said, I became from your the last time you're on, just describing this book. I hadn't even read it at the time. I was like, oh my god, And then when I got to that part of the book, it was exactly how you described it. Reading it, you had the same type of feeling. Here's the sheriff out in the water, trying to save the kid. It just you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. You're almost like flashbacks to our conversation. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I enjoyed this, and it was, yeah. I mean, it's been like out long enough. I mean, do we really need to do spoiler alerts yet? Now. I mean, it's been.
I don't think so. I mean, it's been out for 6 years. People should, and if they haven't read it yet, shame on them, and they're gonna have to man up then.
So the fact that it took, okay, I'm gonna straight up say it. The fact that you made Jake wait for so long to get with Amara, I was pissed about that. I wanted it to happen as soon as they met. You're like, no, not yet. No, not yet. I was like, oh, come
Throw some ice water on that one.
God, man.
But they're both damaged goods,
No, but still.
You got to put them through their paces while they're holding their daughter's Stitch mug. Which, by the way, if she sees this video, I am sure I'm going to have to pay like $5 as a rental fee or something.
Yeah.
But I needed a big mug, and the other one is like this big, so. But
the new age kids are crafty. My son will be like, "Well, you borrowed my thing. I need a couple dollars." Here. Austin hadn't got there yet.
Not yet.
Oh, we used to have I had like a swear jar. I had to give her money every time I curse.
We got a swear jar. I think I owe it like probably about $100 by now. I mean,
no, I just stopped cursing.
I'm sure.
I couldn't afford it after a while. I was going broke. I was like, I just started bleeping myself, like bleep. That counts. And I'm like, no, it doesn't count. But back to the Jake and Amara thing. See, the thing with Amara Takagi is that, the description and everything, a lot of people really into her. I mean, men especially.
Yeah.
I had a guy, like, when the book was in its infancy, and he read it, and he was, like, emailing me, and he's like, dude, man, he goes, I love your description of Amara. He goes, I could see her in my mind. He goes,
you can. You really can.
Was hot. And I was like, all right, take it easy, buddy.
Yeah, we'll put it down.
Steam coming out of your email and stuff like that. But
block.
I try to keep it PG. You don't want to. I mean, Jake is like this kind of damaged knight in shining armor type. Yeah, but he's so. But I even remember like that scene where she was on the docks and the hardcore kid came over and was doing the whole, me love you long time, all this other stuff with him. And I actually had to be clear, I spoke to the lawyer for the screenplay for Full Metal Jacket back then for where that came from. And I wanted to make sure they were okay with me using it and stuff.
Nice.
And she said, that sounds like fair use to me. She goes, I'll be okay with that, So
nice.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. I grew up, on the water, fishing boats, and you described it to a point from just, I forgot the uncle and the little kid doing his fishing charter, his boat. Mm-hmm. Everything about it was just like to a point where even if you've never been to a marina, you could just picture this boat catching tuna, and then you picture Sheriff Braddock and his, not his first mate, but his partner. It was just crazy how detailed you were on all of it.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of experience because I've been fishing since, I was like 5 or something. But it's just, there's a fine line. You want to have the detail, but you don't want the reader to feel like it's an info dump, as they call it. There's a difference between exposition and drowning people in facts and figures and this. You have to kind of give it in dribs and drabs as part of the dialogue, part of the narrative. And if you do it the right way, it works. You know. But most importantly, obviously, you want to establish the relationship between the uncle and his nephew so that this way it's all the more traumatic when something really horrible happens to them.
Just not even that. Just, every character with so much detail, your typical, big rich man senator, high on his high horse, has this typical teenager kid, asshole, dealing with the oh, God, it was just great. Every character played it perfectly. And then, of course, the asshole kid gets what he deserves. Almost. And then at the God.
Yeah, I wanted to leave that kind of confusing for people, I broke a few rules, though, if you notice that in the like, you're not supposed to say things like, he looked in the mirror and that saved his life.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like I used that deliberately, breaking that rule to make the reader think he wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
See, and I did that with Stubbs at the end also, when he said, like, he would remember that for the rest of his life. Little did we know the rest of his life would be 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I wasn't lying.
No.
No, it was the one that I was sad to see go was the first mate.
Mm-hmm.
On the show,
Willie.
that was one I was. That was where, when the memes for you sunk in, it's just like, oh yeah, he is. She's just gonna flat take him out. I'm like, I'm expecting Amara or Sheriff Man there to bite it in the next book. So as I'm reading it, I'm just
not just the next book.
I'm just like, I don't think I want to like anybody right now.
He was taking characters out left and right, and there were so many times you're just like, Jake's gone. Oh, he didn't. Amara's gone. No, she's still here. Like, everybody's still here. Like, oh my god. And at the end, when the first mate was in the hospital after the first incident, he was okay. I was like,
the sheriff? You mean the deputy?
The deputy. Sorry, the deputy. Yeah, and he was all good. I'm like, oh, Chris. I was like, oh, thank God, he's good. Like,
see, it's funny though, because you see, Willie bought the farm because there was only 2 seats in the minisode. I literally, when it was designed that way, I had no place to put him. I was like, well, extra trauma, but. In the very first manuscript, Chris, what's his last name? Oh my God. I can't even remember my character's last name. Oh my God. Well, Chris Myers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Woo.
long time.
in the very first manuscript, he bought it. Okay. He was on the boat where, remember at the end when Jake's boat gets eaten by the monster and the state troopers are on there? He was on that boat. And then, like, people were flipping out on me, like editors and stuff, and other writers and all this crap, and my wife. Okay, I was like, it was like, after all, I thought it through, and I was like, he's sort of like a surrogate for Jake's lost child.
Yeah,
he's the only youthful innocence in the whole book. All right, fine. So I decided to turn it around, and I think a pliosaur took out one of you guys. What happened?
I know.
Oh,
he's at random moments. It just is, he suddenly he suddenly just disappears. He vanishes off, and comes back. So
Oh, okay.
No, my kids might come in from time to time.
My kids are home too. Finally. Man, God, the book was great. I mean, I'm trying to think of everything else. I forgot.
Well, there was. I mean, I was going to bring up to you. There's a rumor that you're a world record holding angler.
This is true. I have one certified world record. I could have had a second one, a state record, but I was too much of an idiot to check before the deadline ran out. And then I gave up 2 world records for 2 different shark species because I refused to kill the fish. Yeah. Back then, they didn't have, like, now you can actually have length records where they'll measure the length of the fish if it can be certified, and you can let the fish go. But back then, you had to kill the fish, bring it in for an official weigh on a certified scale and all this stuff. And I had, down in Florida, I released a gigantic nurse shark, and in Montauk, a blue shark that must have weighed 700 and something pounds. So much bigger than the current world record. But it's, I used to do that a lot. I don't fish as much, but too busy killing off characters. It takes a lot of your time. Yeah, but I used to, like, it was a hobby of mine before, especially before my daughter was born. I mean, I used to fish so much, and I used to always end up in magazines and stuff. I had I've been in pretty much every fishing magazine you could think of. I was even on the cover of Bassmaster at one point, believe it or not, which is hard to do when you're not a professional bass angler.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge picture, but I was there. You can see it
still counts.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you'd been featured in in any of those magazines. And if you do, any of those. I mean, have you kept those?
Oh, I had the an extensive extensive collection, I guess you'd say, of them, like, sealed folders and all this stuff like that. But actually, that's a funny story, come to think of it. I almost lost like a good chunk of my collection of the magazines I was in. And this is why you have to keep your stuff stored carefully and put away. Because you see, my wife was cleaning in the basement and stuff, and she came upon a box of fishing magazines. Okay, and she threw them out in the recycling bin. So I was out there taking out the trash. Okay, and those recycling bins, the big ones, big giant square trash cans. Okay,
No.
and so I'm wheeling out the recycling and the trash. And then I went to throw something extra in the recycling thing, like a little box or something like that. And I see some fishing magazines on top. And I'm like, what the heck is this?
Downtime.
So I go into the house and I'm like, did you throw out my fishing magazines? And she's like, they're old. I'm like, I'm in half of those. So I'm like, well, it wasn't the trash, at least where there's like food and juice and slime and whatever. I mean, at least it was recycling. It was cardboard, okay? So I go and I take a folding chair and I go out to the curb. It's nighttime, mind you, okay? And I put it out there because I'm not climbing in this trash can, okay? I mean, although I was thinking about it, okay? So I'm up there and I'm standing on the trash can and I'm pulling stuff out left and right, checking magazines, throw out. And somebody calls the cops on me. Okay, like a neighbor, like that. Yeah. So I'm out there, and a squad car pulls up. This is New Jersey, okay? And so if you guys know who you are if you see this video, okay? You're gonna remember this one. I don't know the name, but so they pull up, and I see him out of the corner of my eye, and I don't care. It's my house. It's my trash. Piss off, But so I'm looking at stuff, and then they get out because they see they're being ignored and everything, and they're like, "Hey." Like that. I'm like, I got a magazine. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I go back to looking through it and stuff. And I'm like, no. And they're like, they don't like being ignored. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking through recycling. What does it look like I'm doing? They're like,
through my trash.
Why? I'm like,
why does it matter?
Well, you see, this is my house and this is my trash. And my wife threw out a whole bunch of my fishing magazines and I'm holding one. I said, see? So I'm in these magazines, and they're not going in the trash. And they're like, oh. And they're like, oh. Then they look at each other like, are you, like, famous? Or something? Like that. And, and I got another magazine, and I'm like, depends who you talk to. I'm looking. Now they're just standing there watching me work. And I'm like, look, are you guys going to help, or are you going to stand there? I'm like, come on, you climb up, get in, all right, and hand me the stuff, and we'll go through it together. And they're
How big is this recycling bin?
One of them real big suckers.
I'm just thinking, I'm sitting two grown adults sorting through this stuff. I'm like, I'm picturing it's going to be like Oscar the Grouch.
For him to go in, and I would stay out standing on the chair and everything. And they're like, I'm like, come on. I'm like, this isn't a show. Okay, if you're gonna stay here, at least help and everything. They're like, we got a call, we got to go.
Now you got a call.
Yeah, and I'm like, bye.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, but I must have saved like 15 magazines that way,
That's awesome.
So you need them all back?
Oh.
Yeah, I learned my lesson though. So now every time I got fishing magazines, and whenever I find out I'm in a mag, I always get 2 duplicate copies, preferably in mint condition. I put them in these nice sealed, envelopes, plastic, whatever, and I put them in this lock thing, and they're safe in the basement, moisture proof. Leave my stuff alone. Big do not disturb sign. Property of Max.
Max is going to sell his place, and somebody's going to go remodeling. They're going to tear some of the drywall out, and magazines are just going to come pouring out of the wall. He's got them all stashed everywhere.
Those whiskey bottles they just found. The guy must be hiding them from his wife. Perfect example.
Oh yeah, those era, names, Prohibition era bottles that they just discovered. It's like 60 some of those, and they're valued at $1,000 a piece. Prohibition era whiskey that they discovered. It was just hidden in this as they're doing. I'm like, that's those are the kind of finds. It's like what nobody. You see, it's like, how do people find this? Like, go up in the attic, and there's some copy of the Constitution that's worth,
Declaration of Independence, $2 million.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's just It's on the back of some god awful clown picture, that somebody just stuck in the frame, and then you peel it. You're like, oh, this thing's hideous. You take it out, and you're like, oh, hey, honey, we're rich.
we had one, and I thought we hit the jackpot. It was like this painting of this little baby and everything, and it was gorgeous. But it turned out it was like a print of the original, and it was a very rare print, like the first 10 or something like that. But if it had been the real painting, it would have been worth some money. But
at least you still, like the prints, you get those things. It's like, it's not quite the $1 million, but I'll take the 500.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the wife to not be looking so I can put it on eBay, and to get even for the fishing magazines.
She's going to go out there and take recycling out, and it's in the recycling bin. See?
She doesn't take out the trash. That doesn't happen.
So you mean you rolled your magazines to the curb?
Yeah.
Not knowing?
Yep. Nice. And if I hadn't had an extra box or something to throw in there, I would never have known, and they would have been gone.
God.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
thank you, Amazon.
You don't. Yeah. I mean, the only time I think was worse than that was once my dad, God rest his soul, he was staying over at my house, and he had gone with me. I took him on a trip to Texas, and he got a beautiful 52-pound blue catfish, biggest fish he ever caught. So he was like, "You think I'll end up in a magazine?" So I know a lot of people. So I reached out to In Fisherman, and they put him in the magazine. It was a picture of me, him, and the guide all together in Texas, whatever, on the boat and stuff. So I had ordered a couple copies, and I had them sealed, put away, etc. And he asked about it. So I'm like, okay, sure. I said, I got one. I'll show you. I said, you just have to be careful. He's like, oh yeah, sure. So I bring him the magazine. Okay, let's say this is the magazine. Okay, and I'm like, be very careful. This is in mint condition, like that. So he nods. He takes it, and what does he do? He folds it against the binding first, like that. Okay, and then to make sure it's not going to fold back the way it's supposed to go, he does this to it right in front of me. Okay, like that. I lost it. I mean, wow. And then when I saw him the next time he was over the house, I asked him, "Why'd you do that?" And he goes, "I don't even remember doing it. Did I really do that? Really?
Oh, wow.
I have no idea." And I'm like, "Great. All right, taking your pills? What's going on there?"
It's kind of like scolding a puppy. It's like, that they don't remember what happened, just right after it happened. You're like I want to be upset, but it's like, what's the point?
This is split personality stuff or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. I mean, how can you hand somebody a magazine and say, be very careful, this is in mint condition? And the first thing they do is they fold it backwards, breaking the spine, and then roll it in addition. I mean,
that'd be like me handing my paperback books to these two. It's like, don't bend the spine. I mean,
yeah. I mean, what the, no dog ears. Woo,
Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's, I'm just thinking, because I'm just picturing, because I've got comic books, just all, up on the top, and I can just picture, the same thing. It's just like, be very careful with it. And you're just like,
yeah. And the value goes right out the window. I mean, that's it.
Now you got to wait 150 years for all the other copies to get destroyed for that, that damaged one to finally have value again. You're just like, well, yep, rest in peace, that one.
Oh, I lost actually some mint condition comics here. I had the original Infinity Wars and all those other ones, and we had a flood in the basement and they got destroyed. Yeah.
Oh.
So that was heartbreaking. I mean, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you can do is, hope that your insurance company, trusts, that you have it, without cataloging every single wet piece of, wet comic book.
Oh yeah, there was a whole big thing with the insurance claim and all that. Actually, in the end, they refused to pay for the comic books. Believe it or not, they were like, "Well, they can be replaced. You can just buy a new version." I'm like,
not the same.
Don't think you understand how this works.
Let's go down to the basement. I want to talk to you for a second. See, now this is a hot water heater. Now, when it leaks, what happens is, wait, take a closer look. Just kidding. I don't want people to think I'm turning into one of the characters from one of my books, because that's not my thing. I'm a very shy, quiet, peaceful person. Don't
So you
touch
mess with
my
his comic books.
or my fishing magazines.
So what do you have? What do you have in the works right now? I know, like I said,
Before that, I want to know if there is a sequel to oh God, what's that one? Plague.
Plague.
Please tell me you have more on that, because I was pissed off. I got to the end. I'm like, there has to be more.
Was that you that left that review that
Maybe.
said you really liked it, but you were pissed that there wasn't more?
I think so.
It
It was so good. I'm like, you brought Jake back, you got Amara, and it's like, hey, that's it. And I'm like, no. You have to continue with this.
Okay,
Austin,
first up,
the way reviews work, they drive down your ratings. So next time, talk to them before you write a review.
yes, you might want to even go in there and edit that. I don't know if there's a way to upgrade that a little bit. You know, dear Amazon, I don't know.
Did
what
you
I was thinking.
I didn't write
Did you give him a 1 star? Did you give him a 1 star?
No, I didn't review on Amazon. I think I messaged them on Facebook, I think.
Yeah, all of a sudden
That
Max is
wasn't
like,
me.
I'm sorry, I have technical difficulties.
No. I didn't go on Amazon.
So to answer your question, dude, yeah, you got 6 books in the series so far.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys haven't read Diablo, I encourage you to read that before you go forward, because that's sort of like a prologue to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows you what life was like on the island, including the eruption when these creatures escape. So it's sort of like the precursor for the entire series. It's like an elaborate backstory, but it's a whole story in and of itself, the novelette. And you will enjoy it.
Yeah.
But don't get attached to anybody. Okay, I'm just
Exactly.
putting that out there. Okay. Plague is sort of bridging the gap between Cronus Rising and the Kraken trilogy. So if you liked what you saw in Plague, you're going to have plenty of it in the Kraken trilogy.
Nice.
He totally missed it. Oh, okay.
I can't wait. Yeah, I wish I'm downloading it. I'm gonna buy it tonight. But yeah, the end of Plague. I'm like, come on, man. Like now it's not water and it's like this land thing. I'm like, this is perfect, and it ended so abruptly. I was mad. Not enough to write an Amazon review though. That wasn't me.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No. This is your show.
No, I was just the one thing like I really liked out, of that book too, was just at the end, because it was exactly what the way it was written, just where you're like, okay, they finally got a handle on this thing. No, here comes Max Hawthorne. The creature has just laid eggs all over the place. It's just, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I just, because it gives you that moment, just kind of the Jaws type thing, where it just, you're like, all right, guys, I think done. I mean, you just start hearing you hear the music, and you're like, the eggs have been laid. Ooh.
We spoiled so much already, but like towards the end of the last chapter, you go through like this. It's up and down. They're saved. They're not saved. They're not saved. And then all of a sudden, it's like, who was it? Jake sacrificing himself, and all of a sudden, her uncle comes. Mara's uncle comes. I was like, oh, I completely forgot about him. Out of nowhere, he's out of the blue. He sacrificed his life and his crew. Not his life, but his freedom. He's going to and his crew to save his niece. Like, it was, man.
Well, he needed the redemption.
Yeah.
He's not really a villain per se, misguided per se, but it's all. I mean, they have interactions briefly, him and her, in the book.
Yeah.
Like there's a chat fight between the two of them, I guess, something, and you do see like a critical point where he's trying to make a decision if he's going to intervene or not. Mm-hmm. And I deliberately made it misleading to make people think that he was just going to let it ride, etc. So that way I was able to throw that at the audience out of left field, which obviously it worked. So
nice. The whole book was out of left field.
Yeah, you got to play with people's heads. I mean, I like when they did get rescued. You make people think, what is that? That sound, something's messing with the hull, and then a shadow. Oh no, it's another monster. You know, but no. But wait, there's more.
That's all it was. The entire book.
Well, it just book. And like that thing with with the shark, the finning, just the industry. It's one of those. We look at the Japanese culture. The name, it's up in the Scandinavian area. It's where they have that ritual where they go out with the boats and they
Kill
they
those
basically,
whales.
yeah, they push all of them into the shallows, and then they go in killing. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is so abhorrent." I'm like, these cultures, that's what they don't do it out of sport. They're doing this. I mean, that's what they eat, and so you have some of these things. It's like it's just the cultural things. Like us, we're like, God, killing all these sharks, just cutting the fins off and stuff. This one, and some of these things, we're talking about a different culture in how they do so. It's just, but at the same time, it's like you see the problem that this does. And I said, you did that masterfully in the book. I mean, without making it seem like this was this huge, making the broadcast, this don't do that. But at the same time, you felt that at the same time as massively crafted into the story. And that's the part I really liked.
Thank you. I mean, China, honestly, is the biggest problem with finning nowadays. It's a big problem. But the thing with the finning is that as a fisherman alone, I mean, I don't kill sharks. And I've caught some big ass sharks and I've released them. But you're really wasting the entire animal. They're cutting off fins because there's so much value per dollar, and then letting all the parts of the shark that could feed people, starving people, just sink to the bottom and rot or get eaten by hagfish and whatever else is down there. So that's a big problem, and you're messing with the ecology of the seas. So I don't want to go on a whole conservation thing, but there's a big difference between that and a sustenance type of hunting like certain cultures do. I mean, these people are, the shark fin soup is supposed to increase your virility and give you more, we have pills for that. Okay. They're cheaper. They work. Okay. Leave the damn sharks alone.
Yeah. Leave the nurse sharks out there, and just, contact Pfizer. They'll get you
Just do a mass drop, pills all over the place. Not going to
check Pfizer. Can we make them fin shaped? Maybe this will help. We'll just make them in the shape of fins. Maybe this will. Maybe this will work.
Name it something like shark fin something. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. No. Before we got on that little tangent, I was asking you so what is on the horizon? The last time we talked to you, you hinted that there might be something to do with a big hairy creature out in the woods.
Is this my mother-in-law we're talking about?
Oh. Careful.
No. She didn't hear that. But anyway, big hairy creature out in the woods. I just finished a book for Beyond the Freight Publishing called Monsters and Marine Mysteries. And this is a collection of some of it is a few personal anecdotes of things I've experienced, but a lot of it is research I've done and interviews I've done with people that nobody even knows they're still alive that have encountered terrifying sea creatures and lived to talk about it, documented sightings and stuff. So I actually did a whole book, which it's predominantly, though, lake and marine predators, unknown, unexplained phenomena, that type of stuff. So that's done. I just did that. So obviously the publishing date is up to them. Then I'm not sure what my next novel is going to be, but I also we just released these 2 Christmas songs that you heard about probably. One is for little kids. It's called A Tyrannosaurus for Christmas.
That's correct.
And it accompanies.
Awesome.
I'm having a hard time pulling it. I have it.
Anyway, so yeah, keep going. Then you have the other one that is just.
Yeah, and then I put out a children's book that came out last year, but then we pulled it because it needed the song to go with it. The two are like hand in hand or whatever. So now they're both out now. And then I also did a parody of Jingle Bells, which is called Jingle Bells, the Goomba version. And it's kind of like these wise guys singing Jingle Bells while they're out doing bad wise guy things or something like that.
They're out trying to find some place to bury something.
Yes, exactly. So, and it's funny because you see a Tyrannosaurus for Christmas. I hired a fantastic vocalist to do the song, and she did a great job because I'm not capable of sounding like a small child. I don't have that quality anywhere. I tried, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. No, we'll try to get at least the links up there right now. See what every now and StreamYard just doesn't like to play some of these things. I don't know what what's going on. But
and then the Jingle Bells one, I sang it. I mean, that's
That
actually me. So
I was wondering. Yeah, I was wondering that. Yeah, as I was listening to it, I'm like, God, this sounds. I wonder if he voiced, part of this or did something. And that was pretty cool.
it was a world-class pain because I lived in Brooklyn and Bensonhurst for like the better part of 20 years. So I had a lot of experiences with these character types, these, I don't know what you call them. There's a term, stereotypes or archetypes, etc. So I learned how to start talking like this. You know what I'm saying? I got to do this.
Yeah.
And so I had to sing like that. It's very difficult. So we actually had to do it one line at a time in the studio. I would sing the first line, first sentence, and then stop. And then we'd check it, listen to it, we'd do it a few times so it was perfect, and then add that on, and then do the next one. Perfect. Next one. Because it's very draining. And your voice, I can't sustain that accent while singing for a whole 3 minutes or whatever, however long the song is, without it starting to go awry after a while. But in the end, it was a pretty funny song. And they bleeped out the curse words, so that was good.
Yeah, hopefully we can get it up there. That took a dirty turn there. So awesome. I think he's working on that. But no, it's just because I know you were saying, because we were hinting on you that because love of cryptids, is just hoping that you took something, worked on, like a terrestrial, land version, your foray into that. But I mean, like I said, I know you're.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I got you. There is in the last book, actually in Kraken 2, there is some land stuff. We'll call it some terrestrial things, and in Kraken 3, there's a lot of stuff that happens on dry land, but it's inside the base. So it's kind of like a mixture. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys because you haven't read it yet. But
we're going to get there.
Yeah, there's something very large and very dangerous that's introduced into the mix that vies with the pliosaurs for sheer dominance, let's say. And the Kraken books take place 30 years after the book you guys read. So a lot has changed in 30 years. So but you never know. The characters you like from book 1 may be in there. Yeah,
exactly.
I make no promises though.
We got love the T-Rex song and video. So sweet. So you got one fan for sure of your T-Rex song right there.
It's such a cute song. I love the one line where it says no velociraptors or brachysauruses. They bite and they scratch and they squash all the school buses. It's perfect for little kids. Because little kids hate going to school. So, squash the school buses. Yeah, the dinosaur crushes everything. And, it's good stuff. It's good, clean fun. Perfect for little kids.
Oh, yeah, that was a part I liked, because I think, what was the line? It's like, I don't want a hippopotamus, it's the T-Rex is going to eat those.
Oh, no fat hippo or rhinoceros.
Yeah.
It's very important to get the timing with the beats and stuff. So everything works together. But,
yeah, it was good. Any luck on that, Austin? Getting that one?
Oh boy,
he's got himself muted, so we're not going to know what he said.
Give me about 2 minutes. I got you.
All right.
I'm not going anywhere.
That's highly specific.
At least we didn't have.
It's going to be exactly 2 minutes and 6 seconds here. Hold on a second there.
Earlier today at like 5:00, I had this huge important interview for iHeartRadio. And it's recorded. Yeah, the show is actually going to air, I think, on Monday. It airs right before Rush Limbaugh's show. So, it's a lot of viewers and stuff. And the cat, and I warned her. I told the hostess, I said, I got my door shut, but I'm just hoping this cat does not break in here and cause problems. See, he's not going to do it with you guys, thankfully, because the girls are out there and he has people to lie next to and hang with and whatever. But I'm sitting here and we're doing my, this interview, and all of a sudden I hear like, outside the door. I'm like, no, please no. And then he uses his head, he's a big cat, and he pops the door and he comes in. And I'm like, And I'm trying to talk to her, but she could tell something's weird, like I'm distracted. And then next thing you know, this big poofy tail just starts crossing the screen like this and everything. And then he was like all over the place. He was chewing on my ankle. I'm like, yeah, it's great. Really? And then I brought him up at one point. I'm like, see this thing? So he kind of like literally crashed and trashed my interview. So I don't know if she's going to be able to edit it out or not, but we'll see. If not, Olaf is going to be on national television. So
I'm just picturing that that viral video. It's that British guy that was doing that business interview where the kids.
No pants.
Well, no, the kids kept coming into, they would come in and then the mom would come scrambling in trying to pull him out because he was live. It's like on BBC, doing an interview, and here's these two kids messing around there, and here comes mom scrambling in, grabbing them, yanking back. I'm picturing that with the cat, because you have two of them, don't you?
Yeah, but Olaf was the real troublemaker. Mace is very mild-mannered. He would just come in, lay on the desks, whatever. This thing, he like a few weeks ago, I had a 100-year-old inkwell, bronze inkwell on my desk. I kind of used it to juxtapose, technology for writing. Think about it. 100 years ago, we were using dip pens with inkwells, and now we have, computers like this stuff. And so, it's one part of a display here, and he freaking knocks it off my desk and breaks it. 100 years old. I had it for 25 years. Okay, I was like. It was like, you're going to Wuhan. You're going to Wuhan.
God, I love you. You're my favorite cat.
Horrible. And,
then he looks at you stupid. That's how my cat does. My cat will do something like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they try, and they get out of it. They'll purr. Or if you go to yell at him, he shrinks down like this. Or if you catch him doing something, he'll try and fake it. He'll be like, no, I was just stretching. Literally, he'll be doing this. And I'm like, I saw what you were doing. And he's like, no, just doing this.
My wife.
And you look at him and like, what do you think? I'm stupid? And he's like,
my wife's cat stole the earring, a rare earring off her dresser, and we couldn't find it for like 3 weeks. And she's like, I'm gonna kill this cat. I'm gonna kill this cat.
He didn't.
No, if we end up finding it under the couch and somewhere other one.
Can you imagine?
It's like milk ring, type that you just, when you had those cats, you'll just, that little thing. I told him the cat went in there and saw these things shining and just started batting them around. And then it just became the 3 a.m. thing that drives you crazy when you just hear this little, just a cat's racing around, batting stuff around the floor.
You're lucky. If it had been me, she would have been like, he ate it. I know he ate it. You're checking the litter box every day for the next week. Yeah. No.
Oh my God.
No, it's a peanut. Cats don't eat peanuts. They're poisonous, but you understand what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. No, it's the animals are awesome. It's kind of, they all have the different things. Like mine, we don't have any cats. We just have dogs. And so, it's for us, it's always the best thing. There's nothing quite like in the world, because cat owners know the hairballs type thing, but there's nothing like a dog that all of a sudden you just have that whole, you just sound, it just wakes you up from a dead sleep. And here's a dog throw, because it decided it wanted to impersonate a snake and swallow its chew, its rawhide chew thing whole, and it's in the stomach, and it finally decides it needs to come back up, and it's just, and
you're like, just not on the carpet.
You're chasing it around. Go to the tile, and it just hooks a massive U-turn right on the carpet. Or you're just like, why? You were right next to the tile. Why couldn't you just gone right there? Why did you have to go to the braided rug that is so impossible to clean? Why did you have to pick that? Why? Oh yeah, animals. They're the best.
Yeah, unfortunately, I suck when it comes to discipline, because you have to understand this cat is like, he's like a big mush. He's only a year old. I don't think you guys have seen him yet. Let me see if I can get him in here. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Ava.
We'll do some hold music here.
Ava. I'm sorry. Was that too loud?
No.
Oh,
No,
I'm going to see if he's out there and grapple him. I'll be right back. If he's not,
okay, yeah.
I'll just be a few seconds.
We'll talk amongst ourselves. Give us a topic.
It won't be 10 minutes like Chris. I promise.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves. Gives you a topic. No, it's one, man. I'm telling you, there's Willie and Finn, my two, Labradoodles, man. Oh my God, there's just a time they'll gorge themselves on their food, and so it'll just be this massive, like half digested kibbles, and part of their, like we give them these pork chomps or this stuff like that, and it'll just be, you'll be dead asleep, and just that's the thing. It's just instantly you wake up and you're, like I said, you're trying to figure out where the sound is coming from, and by the time you finally register where it's at, it's almost too late. I'm picking up Finn. He's upside down. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm trying not to fall down the stairs. I'm going, don't, please, God, let's get outside. And he's just sitting there. And finally, he gets to the floor. And then right as you get to the door, it's like you go to set him down. And then he immediately takes off running and finds a rug. I'm like, why? Why do you have to do this to me every time? So we just, dogs are awesome.
Yeah, I'm too old for dogs, unfortunately. I am. I'm decrepit. I just, it's just horrible. He's not out there. I called my daughter. Apparently, he's lying up in her room. I asked her to bring him down. She said, I'm on the phone. And I'm like, come on, I'm on the air. Just for 1 second.
The fans want to see the cat. They want to see the cat.
Ava!
That's awesome.
I tried to cover the mic. See, I need one of those like speaker systems, intercoms, and stuff like that. Oh no, that would never be good. Never mind.
That almost needs to be the sound bite for the thing.
But
it's just Ava!
I think I got it.
Oh God. It's funny.
But you can get the annoying intercom system in Alexa. I drop in the room, you say Alexa, drop in, and she drops in.
Yeah, this the overlord listening. It's like, but it's nice. It's one of those but for some reason, can we just? Bezos, can we fix this, please? Oh,
the laughing.
God. No, I feel like the Saturday Night Live commercial. Their little promo thing when they had the Alexa for old people when they're like calling it Allegro and
Alexa Silver or something like that.
Yeah, Alesso. It's all these different things. It's like I feel like that sometimes.
Oh,
it's like,
there you are. Hi. Oh, come here, you big lug, you.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Nice.
This is the O-Man. Yeah, this is a 20-pound cat right here. I'm gonna borrow Jay Leno's routine. A son. Oh, son!
Oh my!
And the problem is that I can't get mad at him when he does something. I'm like, and my wife chides me for this. I'm like, I am so mad at you. I'm so mad. Oh my God, I'm so mad at you. And she's like, he's not taking you seriously, and he doesn't because he's very hard to get mad at. Although when he broke the antique inkwell, I was very mad. Nothing happened to him, but I was like. So now he's in my office, under the desk. She didn't even bring him downstairs. I don't know if he just read my mind or what. He just walked in, he opened the door, and he walked into the office.
It's probably like, ooh, there's another interview I can be involved in.
Big mushy boy.
Yeah.
You got him?
He's very hard to stay mad at, though. And when you scold a cat and you say, I'm so mad at you, and you hug them, like, and they're like, yes, you seem very cross. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never do that again. I'm not going to tear your blinds apart. Yeah. Or am I?
Yeah, jumps into the Christmas tree.
Come on, boy. You want to sit up here?
So,
one thing.
Which one?
I got him.
No, go ahead. No,
I was going to say, being an author, obviously you work from home. And, this is like my lair. I mean, you can't see all the giant fish on the walls. I think you can see a fin or two of something sticking up back there. Actually, here, see, it's all like giant fish and whatever and stuff like that. But anyway, so the thing is that I get a lot of calls. And a lot of times, I'm sure you guys have all been victimized by people pretending to be from Microsoft that they want to hack into your computer, or the IRS scam or
Well, I just got the Social Security one. Yeah, I got that one today.
Yeah,
my Social Security account has been suspended. Pending issues with Social Security. I'm like, oh man, I want to answer these things and just mess with them, but I just don't have time.
I troll. Craig knows that troll on the phone during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I say, yeah, I just trolled the people. I don't even have a car, and you're calling about my extended car warranty. I don't even have a car. I just be messing with them. So you don't have a car? No, don't have a car. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I told one guy I had a 1964 Beetle with 432,000 miles on it. It used to be my grandfather's, then my dad's, then mine. I was so excited that he called because it really was having problems. I think the air conditioning was going and the fuel system, this and that, the transmission. I said, will this cover all of it? Because I'm really excited to do this. Oh, do you have anything besides? No, let's do that. No, it finally hung up on me. But usually, I don't want to... I don't bother with that. What I do is I push one to get a person, and then I use this thing. Okay, and this is not an advertisement for this, okay, but this is one of those remote control fart machines.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh.
And when you turn the sucker on, and then you have this, see? And then you put it next to the phone, the handset, on speaker. And for some reason, when it's on speakerphone, it acts like a transmitter, and it just keeps it going and going and going nonstop. And it keeps cycling. And I just sit there, and I let it do its thing. And you hear the person flipping out. They're like, and it just keeps going and going. And finally, and one guy, he must have lasted 3 minutes of trying to yell and scream and threaten me and all sorts of, I mean, like what? And I just sat there, and I'm like, I don't care. I'll do a little Facebook.
Awesome.
Let me see what's going on Twitter. That's pretty cool stuff. We're going to arrest you and this and that and the IRS and no.
I had a guy one time. He was like, "Oh, I got a car." I was like, "Oh, cool. My '95 Bronco has in the warranty." I was like, "Ford is really. Oh my god, it's amazing." No, sir. I was like, "I'll go on 1973 Camaro." He's like, "Okay, have a good day." I held the phone. I was like,
"Yeah." They're like, don't you have anything else?
Yeah, 73 Camaro.
No, this is the most important thing in my life. You called at an opportune moment. I think this is a great plan. I am happy to be a part of it. What's your name? Where do you live?
You play games, I play back.
And it's usually, they're from some province in India, but they're telling you that they're from, Jackson, Mississippi, or, Irving, Texas. And you're like, I don't think so, because everybody in the call center it's pretty specific that you got everybody that seems to be the same, same accent, all working in the same call center.
Yeah, pretty much.
My name is Dan. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure not Dan.
I already know who you are.
I can't even say on here some of the stuff I've said, so
it's probably better you don't.
Yeah,
definitely better.
All right, which one do we listen to right now?
We're going to torture people with music?
This should be the Tyrannosaurus Rex one.
Oh, good. That's the better one. Without the whole...
Hey, Sally. Have you seen Billy? No, but he better hurry or he's going to miss the bus. Wait, what's that sound? Are those footsteps? Is that Billy? What's he riding? Is that all? Dinosaur!
I want a Tyrannosaurus for Christmas. A cute baby T-Rex just
That's cool. Yeah, very well done. Very well done.
I was about to wrestle the cat, actually.
Well, is nobody can see that, because it's only on like us, with the host things. We can see it, but I'm over here. I'm watching you. You're like, here we go. Distract. Go get it.
Yeah, I'm trying because he's starting to tear stuff up on my desk and everything. You are driving me insane. Anyway, I'm glad you guys like the.
There's the Jingle Bells one.
Yeah, play just a little bit of that one.
Whatever I downloaded, I don't know.
Hey, yo, fellas, get in.
Oh, okay.
That's it?
Okay.
That was a real little thing.
All right.
I'll figure it out.
We'll do the Reading Rainbow thing here. If you want to know more, you need to go to YouTube.
I don't know why I did that. Let's try it again.
But wait, there's more. There really is.
Hopefully.
Hola.
That looks funny.
Come here, baby. Oh, good. We should dance for this. You big hairy beast. The worst is when the cat decides your foot under the blanket is his arch enemy, and he decides that it's Clash of the Titans time. Yeah, and he's like, and all this. It's very hard to sleep because the fangs are so sharp. They go through multiple layers. Isn't that right?
You move your foot at night, and then they just start gnawing. But my cat, he likes to headbutt you at night so you can pet him. So I'll be sleeping. I'll be sleeping. My wife's like, you'll be rubbing the cat because he'll keep bowing you with his head. Like, you're gonna pet me? I want to be petted here. It's like 2:30 in the morning. You're trying to be petted. So I'll go back to sleep, rubbing his head. Whoever knows when he gets down, don't know.
I tried that, but it ended up being the wife's head, and she was like, "Why are you petting me? Stop scratching behind my ear. I'm getting sore."
Oh God, yeah, I did that, Becky. A few days. I was like over there. I'm just laying there, and I'm just like patting him. And she's like, "Why are you patting me?" I'm like, "I don't know."
It's a reflex.
I don't know.
You're such a handsome boy. How'd you get so handsome? Huh? How did you get so handsome?
Genetics.
They actually have a mane like a lion, like that thing. Yeah, the Siberians, which is very impressive.
It almost had, because it almost had like the bobcat type thing too, just where they're hanging,
Yeah, he's a big boy. No flies survive in this house. I once saw his brother jump up and take a fly 3 feet out of the air and eat it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
He got himself a new title, Mace. What is it? Lord Plushbottom the First, Minister of Fluff, Devourer of Treats, and Eater of Flies. Yes, or something like that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
See, right now the cat is literally on the desk, and if I don't know, his tail's not up, so you're not seeing the tail yet. See, so he's just below view.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What other priceless artifacts getting ready to be sacrificed in the name of this interview?
Dude, you really need to stop. All right. He wants my water. See, if I put my water, there's the Philadelphia accent there.
Water.
Yeah. If I put my water, see the
There's
tail?
A tail?
There you go.
Yep, there's a tail.
It's like a flag. That's like the warning sign, like a shark fin going by.
I was just gonna say, there's like a shark. It goes circling back and forth. It's like we know something's gonna. That's when the camera just suddenly goes flying because something just got knocked over.
You have to make sure if you have water and you leave it anywhere, you check it before you sip. If you leave it alone, you're like, they got to be, is there, because they put their paws in there and they start fishing around and stuff. And these are the same paws that were in the litter box and God knows where else and stuff. So I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know about this one. That's it.
Oh my God.
It's like, at least I don't get ambushed as much as I used to. You see, before Olaf came along and it was just Mace and us, Mace used to look at me as his big brother to play with. So we had this ongoing, Clouseau, Cato thing, like in the Pink Panther. And I would walk through the house and I never knew where he would be hiding and waiting. And he would just lunge out, jump out, blast me like in the back of the leg, and then walk away, smirking. Like an ambush, like this. And you'd be carrying plates of food or who knows what, a hot soup, boom. But since he got a playmate and now they can chase each other around and kill each other, he doesn't attack me much. And it's not a real attack; it's just a playful ambush. But
oh yeah,
Yeah.
No, it's
this guy settled down finally.
That's the nice part about
Sorry.
That's the nice part about animals, though. It's like you want to think for even all the stuff that drives you crazy. Sometimes it's like the other part. It's just the companionship. It's just nice.
It is
just nice.
You sit there on the couch, watch TV. One of these beasts comes up, curls up right next to you, and just it's like a tribble.
Yep.
Pet him. Has that soothing effect on the human central nervous system or something like that.
next thing the bulkhead pops open and there's hundreds of them.
I love that episode of Star Trek because you could see every so often one hits him in the head and it's moving much faster than normal. So there was somebody up there throwing it deliberately at his head, like some technician or gripper or whoever, and he's probably like, "I don't like you, Shatner."
I know the one where you yelled at him to get him a drink or something like that. He's like, "My time has come." Just bag right.
Close that hatch.
Well, everybody, you need to go to YouTube for sure. Like I said, you've got the we'll put the links up here. I'll have Austin share those. But we'll put the links up there. Go follow those for his Christmas, Tyrannosaurus Rex and Goomba, Jingle Bells. Go listen and support those ones. Because that's, now they can. Now is that something like iTunes or anything where they can go download those?
Oh, sure. The stuff's available. If they're going to go on YouTube, they should go to Max Hawthorne's book trailers and videos. That's where the 2 songs are with the videos that are on there right now. I'm very happy with it. I mean, it's been out they started pushing this thing about, 4 or 5 days ago. It's been already viewed over 26,000 times. So, it's getting there. Well, it's my first song, so I don't really, it's all new stuff for me. But,
I would say you're doing a pretty good job if first song and you've already got that many. Yeah, because I'm looking right here. It's just the 23,000 views, and it's only been on there a week. So that's really impressive.
If they want to buy the song, I think the links are on there. But it's sold wherever they sell these things, Amazon or iTunes, all that good stuff. And there is a the version that you started with. It has an opening sequence with the with the kids at the bus stop and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually cool because my little girl, she did the kids' voices for the for the introduction and stuff. And there's also
that's
a radio.
Cool.
Yeah, she's a little embarrassed by it, but it was adorable, And there's also a radio edit version where they can have it. They just jumps into the song, and, all that good stuff. So
nice
inexpensive stocking stuffer for Christmas.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely want. Like I said, sport. I mean, just we can't recommend the book. Like I said, just from reading the stuff. I mean, I highly recommend your books, just from the writing style to just how well you've crafted the story. I mean, so every time I try to tag you when I do it too, so you can see it. But whenever somebody recommends books, I try, especially ones where we've talked to you guys, and I know I personally read them because I tell people this is one. I mean, especially if you like faction style stories. I mean, this is right up that alley because they're really well done.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, and it's and I just from having you on for the first time, I said this has just been. I mean, it's hard to believe it's been that long. I was looking back at the date. I mean, we're talking what, 4 months?
Got it.
You got what? Which one?
The Gabagoo.
You want to try that one?
The one of me singing.
All right. All right. So here, play a little bit of that real quick. So we can send them off.
Embarrassed. Send him off
That's
embarrassed.
Right. All right, here we go.
Hey, yo, fellas, get in. We got something to do. Dashing through the snow in a boosted Chevrolet. Through back roads we go, laughing all the way. Joe and Lou are drunk, this weather's out of sight. What fun it is to drive and sing the Gugin song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, my trunk smells, no lights all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a broke down Chevrolet. Jingle bells, we won't tell, smoking all the way. Oh, what fun it is to hide somebody this fine day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. When I listened to it the first time, I knew Austin would like that broke down Chevrolet.
Yes.
So he's, Ford fan. So that was pretty good. So there you go. That was.
And it has a happy ending. See, because the guy they have in the trunk ends up getting spared because he pooped his pants, and they can't take the smell. So they finally let him go because they're like, "We can't take it. Get out of here. It's your lucky day. Beat it. Whatever."
So there's the other one. So yeah, check that one out. Yeah, that's fantastic. But no, Max, this was a lot of fun. I said about the next one. So we're definitely we're going to try to get a couple more of your books in. Bring you back on, especially get with you on some of your new works. Is there any like teasers, like stuff that we could breaking news? I'm looking at this as a possible new thing, or we just taking a little time off after getting done with the Kraken?
Oh no, I never stop. I have multiple projects going. But I mean, if you guys want to, once Beyond the Fray puts out the the cryptid book, I mean, we could, I can come on to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that.
If you guys have read one or two more of the books in the series from the KR series, then we could have that. Hi.
The little one there. Yep.
But we could have, we could talk about that stuff and the new book that and all that. But I have like 2 novels pending that I'm going to be working on next, and I'm torn which one I want to do. Like, one is like a horror story that I wrote a screenplay for first, which is usually the opposite of how it works. Usually you do the book and then a screenplay is made. But I loved it so much, I wanted, screenplays are a lot easier to write than novels.
Yes.
A novel takes 3-4 times as long. Okay, so I got that done, and it's been sitting there for a couple of years, and I really want to put it in novel form because it deserves it. But then I have this other story, and so I'm torn between which of the, the 2 I'm going to move on. But either way, they're going to be
good
stuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely. Just keep that price at, like, when that's coming out. Like I said, we'll pay. Like I said, we'll get you on the schedule so that we can get you back in.
Thank you. It would be my privilege.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, sir. Really appreciate it. Everybody, go to now is still Chronos Rising the best.com still the best place for people to get a hold of you? Do you have any questions?
If they want to reach out to me, there is a contact email at chronosrising.com, or they can track me down on Facebook. I would say there's a lot of people out there pretending to be me. Believe it or not, I don't know why. Yes. Like, a lot of people calling themselves Max Hawthrone, which is like whatever. But if they look up, like, the group I usually spend a lot of time on is Max Hawthorne's Monsters and Marine Mysteries. That's kind of like the only Cronus group that I personally manage. The rest have like admins handling and stuff. So if people want to reach out to me there, that's a good way as well.
Okay, and then we'll get that link up there. We'll share that for people too.
Oh, cool.
Yep, right there, Max Monsters and Marine Mysteries. Yep, that's the one. We're part of that. It's really good. Max is pretty active in posting memes and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. And they said, we may have, as the podcast, we may have boosted a couple. I won't. I gave the haha, which is payment for said pictures. As long as you give the LOL comment and the laughing face, you have given due diligence to the creator of that thing, and then it's free license to use after that. So, but thank you.
Like the Wookiee one, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that one with the girl? Okay, I'm not going to say it.
Yes.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much.
You too. Tell the family hi. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, everybody. This episode was brought to you by Brott's Beard Care, premium beard oil made right here in Central Florida by Kelly Brott himself. Go to brottsbeardcare.com. Use promo code 3beards with a capital B, and you're going to save 20% off that amazing products. Free shipping. Nanny Cakes. Go to Nanny Cakes 407. They're on Facebook. Central Florida area is the best way to get these, just because there's not really a great way to ship a cake, unfortunately. So in the Central Florida area, just mention that you know about Three Beards with her, and you're going to save 15% off your cake, which is a fantastic deal. Go there. We are on Patreon at /Three Beards Podcast. If any, you know, you like these things, it's like we appreciate it. You know, we're able to do stuff. We're looking for Patreons. You know, it helps us, you know, come up with stuff. You know, because unfortunately, coming up with T-shirt ideas and stuff costs money, and so it's one of those things. If you feel you like it, you want to support us, hey, we appreciate it. You can become one with the Beardos. At least, you know, social media, we're trying to get our downloads up there. So on your podcast platforms, just type up on, I mean, we're on all of them: Spotify, iTunes, Castbox, you know, Amazon Music. Yeah, you just go anywhere, just type in Three Beards Podcast, and you're going to be able to find us. Like us, leave a review if you feel like it, because that does really help get the word out. But subscribe to us and just listen to some of the podcasts and share them with your friends. We always appreciate that. So just for me, I want to appreciate everybody that watches, all the support, all the comments. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to us. You know, it's kind of fun to interact with people at the same time too, you know, doing something that we love. So everybody, take care of yourself. Be well. We will see you next Wednesday. And good night.